The regular location, she's not with me very much, but I'm glad to have my wife here. Rhonda, stand up. She's in the middle. Rhonda, stand up. Very good. So that's kind of fun. Really, she just said, you know, the weather's so much prettier in Chicago right now than it is in Florida. She just wanted to come right up and get in on some of this 5-degree stuff. And that's right. And not to mention, a lot of you got in here. I appreciate you making such tremendous efforts to be here, because I know that a lot of you were slipping and sliding, and there were tons of accidents on the road, and we had a bunch that got here late just because you couldn't get here. And there were so many people having accidents on the road. You persevered and you came, and I do appreciate it. I don't take it lightly. Thank you for your efforts to be here very, very much, because don't we have a tremendous crowd in here today? This is fantastic. So, you know, we're thrilled that you are here, thrilled that you made it, and that's all very good. So for some of you had to be late, I apologize that you had to be late, and I'm sorry that it was a kind of a hard road, but we certainly want to make it worth your while. I am very excited, you guys, about Integrity Doctors becoming the voice, and I want to explain, you know, the leadership position and the 7 things that must stop now. I want to move to number 5 on the list, and I consider it to be one of the most important as well. In order for chiropractic to be the health reform of America, there are some things that have to stop. And one is, we've got to stop promoting everything but the adjustment. Now, I will say from the beginning, it isn't that there aren't other things. It's that there has been, in the past couple of years or so, there has been a tremendous shift in priority. There doesn't need to be an elimination of everything, but there needs to be a proper prioritization of everything. So let me begin and explain why chiropractic has taken on so many tangents, so that chiropractic has become diluted, and in many instances, I sincerely say, disappearing, where chiropractic isn't even mentioned. There can be, I see many ads today that the word chiropractic isn't even in them, you know. And so it is a disappearing act, and let me explain why. It isn't because, and I've had a few questions about that even during the break, it isn't because chiropractors are wanting that to happen. It is so gradual, and at the same time, you are barraged by all voices except for pro-chiropractic voices. You are barraged daily to believe that everything works and everything sells, and the patients want everything but chiropractic. So the way we begin to view it now is that everything else will attract the patient in, everything else the patient will pay for, and then we'll just try to get chiropractic kind of in on the backside, because it's the one that nobody really wants, and it's the one that we sneak in a back door. And it's a really wrong philosophy. Nobody wants chiropractic, we're thinking. Nobody will pay for chiropractic, we're thinking. But they will do, and they will pay for all these other things. They want and will do weight loss. Boy, if you had weight loss, then everybody runs in, and then we'll maybe get chiropractic in on the side. Or massages, or supplements, foot pads, sandals, body and face sculpting. I mean, there's all these things that you are barraged with on a continual basis. So that these are all the hot items, so you need to do the hot items, and then, hey, you know, if you have a chance, you can maybe get chiropractic, get them interested in that as well. And so here's what the message of the vendors really is. The message of the vendors is always this: chiropractic won't get it. That's the theme. Chiropractic won't get it. It's the outdated, it's the old. Chiropractic won't get it. Now, the thing that we have to evaluate, and this is, I want you to get the concept of why this happens to understand everything else. Why are you told this? And by whom are you told this? The why are you told this is actually pretty simple. Let's look at chiropractic just the way that it is. And all I'm going to do is try to help you see. This will be very difficult, if not impossible, for you to see. After you see it, it's almost all you can see. Chiropractic requires no products. That's a problem if you're a vendor. Chiropractic can be done with your hands. So what does that mean? For you to do exceedingly well, for you to be very successful, all you need is your hands. And you've already bought the product of chiropractic with your $200,000 in student loans. So you have your chiropractic product and you have your hands. So pretty much you're good to go. You're able to do it. Now think, if you put yourself in everybody else's position, this is a problem. If I'm a vendor, what am I going to sell you and how am I going to sell it if you think that chiropractic will get it? If chiropractic will get it, that means your hands will get it. If your hands will get it, I've got nothing to sell you, and I starve to death. Therefore, I've got to convince you that. I've got to say, oh, chiropractic, I mean, it's okay. It's all right. I mean, I'm glad that you have it. But what you really need is, what the patients really need is, what's really hot these days, what will really work these days. It isn't chiropractic. That's just a nice thing to do. But what you really need is, and that becomes the voice. So you've got to realize that they have to tell you this, or they can't sell you anything. It becomes the requirement. So they must get you off of chiropractic, and they need to get you onto something else, which is whatever they sell. So you're told as a result that they won't pay for chiropractic, but they will pay for, and just using anything and everything, it doesn't matter, but they will pay for decompression. Now, here you are when you step back and look at it, wait a minute, they won't pay for a $45 adjustment, but they will pay for this huge fee for decompression. So who told you that? The people who sell decompression. That's who told you that. How about that seminar doctor, for instance, and you go to that seminar and there's 3 hours, and by the way, I've been to them too, so I know for a fact, no smoke. Truth of the matter is, you go, and boy, this doctor will get up and show hours of PowerPoints and slides and doctoral information on how the feet is what causes the back problems, and if you get the feet right, then you get the body right, and that's what causes and corrects all things and all this. And so what you need is, you need to understand that it's really the feet that does all this. And as a result, you need to do this. And by the way, then when you look at that seminar, taught by a doctor with all very scientific stuff, but who sponsored the seminar? It would be foot levelers or whatever you want to say. Now, by the way, this is not saying something against decompression. It's not saying something against foot levelers or anybody or any orthotics or whoever they are, because it's the different companies. Just hang on, listen to the whole thing. Don't get on it. Just listen to the whole thing. Just listen. I'm on your side, so listen. Here's the deal. You got to look at who sponsored the thing. So when he's showing you all this scientific proof, he's showing you that scientific proof to do what? To sell you something that you can't do with your hands, because if you could do it with your hands, then you don't need them. And then there's nothing to sell. The adjustment alone won't get them well, but this laser will. The adjustment alone won't get them well, but these supplements, that's wellness, is vitamins and stuff. And the adjustment won't get them well, but I know that you just learned chiropractic. Well, oh, poor you. You only know chiropractic. You need this other technique, and this other technique will now. You can't get them well, but what you need is this technique, and this technique will get you well. The article says, for instance, you open up Chiropractic Economics, actually was even the cover, and it says that you should buy electronic health records. Now, when you read the article, they're giving you all the reasons why you should buy electronic health records. What you need to do, though, is you need to look, and who wrote the article? Someone who sells electronic health records. I wonder what their recommendation is going to be. I'm trying to think it through. So here's the deal. Whether you need electronic health records or you don't, you need to just evaluate that you don't make the decision based on, all I'm doing is showing you that you are barraged right now with only one voice. As a matter of fact, we can take a poll in here. How many of you get multiple emails a day saying these things and advertising these things? How many of you get multiple emails a day? That's right, look around. It's everywhere. It's the only voice you ever hear. Oh, no, chiropractic. Poor chiropractic. It won't get it. You need Wonder Machine Model 9000. You need Wonder Technique. So, 70% of the pages in the chiropractic magazines are these same vendors with this same voice. by mail every day, and even on the phone, you are barraged with the message that chiropractic won't get it. In other words, you need to start selling all these other billion-dollar industries. Don't miss out on it. It's where you must be. Your dream life can't happen unless you do this. And that's what you hear day after day after day, continually on a daily basis. Well, you know what? If you hear that day after day for 2 years, pretty soon you're thinking, not to mention when there's been some hard times and when there's been some low times and maybe you're down in new patients and you're saying, whoa, hey, wowee. And if we were a weight loss clinic, we would get 4 times the number of new patients we're getting now overnight. These are all straight from the ads. Okay. Now what we have to do is we just have to think this through, and here's the way I want to help you think it through. Top flight doctors, I want to ask you, hopefully it's all right, I want to borrow an illustration from your seminar if it's all right, but it just seems to do it pretty well, so if it's okay, I'm going to borrow one from Top Flight here. Can you spot the cow? Is our deal. How many of you have ever seen this commercial before? I love this commercial. I don't like this commercial. I love it. I love what they do here. It's so hilarious. It's so funny because they got these cows and they'll dress these cows up in dresses and put lipstick on them and do all of the kind of things. And the cows, their message is very simple. The cow says, eat more chicken. Now what makes this so funny? Why are they telling you to eat more chicken? So they stay alive. That's absolutely right. This is saving their own skin. They aren't thinking about you. They don't care about you. They don't want you to choose beef. Don't choose beef. Choose chicken. Why? Because if you choose beef, I die. And if you choose chicken, I live. They're a cow. And it's hilarious. It's upfront. It's one of the few things that is upfront about what advertisements really are. This is this, so that they say you should buy electronic health records. And who's telling you that? Can you spot the cow? You know, the deal is you just have to learn to look at all of these things and realize that, wait a minute, they're not really talking to you on your behalf. They're talking to you on their behalf. They are saving their own skin. And there's nothing wrong with saving their own skin. But you need to recognize the cow so that you can make a decision based on truth instead of cowisms. Is everybody with me? So what happens is they just don't come to us as blatant as this. But it's what this really is. Here's kind of an example. Breakthrough Coaching, another measurement company, they have 25 partners. Now, here's just a list of some of their partners. Their partners are Doctors Weight Loss, Massage Advantage, Foot Levelers, Kennedy Decompression, Future Health, Anabolic Labs, Fitness Plus, ProMed Billing Solutions. Now, that's just a few of them, and they are partners together. What does that mean? That means that you're going to be in classes all day, and these classes are going to teach certain things. What things do you think they're going to teach? It's going to be taught by these vendors who they are, quote, partnered with, and then they're going to recommend that these are the things you need to do to grow. What's the only problem with it, though, everybody? Partner means that they're being paid, they make money if you buy it. Therefore, they're saying, well, here's how you'll grow. You provide this, and then you'll grow. Now, I'm not saying if you will grow or you won't grow, but I am saying that the motive is a bit skewed, don't you think? Because they are partnered, quote, and they are making money from the deal. Can you spot the cow? Is the goal to grow your practice, or is the goal to make money off of sales? That's what you have to look at. Now, everybody, and there's nothing wrong with making money, don't get me wrong, but the truth is, you don't have a chance with these circumstances because you're going to be barraged with the huge success of everything except what? Chiropractic. And here's the reason why you're not going to hear any chiropractic messages, is because they can't make any money off of chiropractic. That's the whole problem you got. Nobody can profit from chiropractic, so why promote chiropractic? We don't make any money from chiropractic. We make money from all this other stuff. So we can't say, oh, chiropractic is the thing. Chiropractic is awesome. Chiropractic wins. Well, no. I mean, it is good, but it's nothing like. And then here we go. And so you're barraged with it from a continual basis. So the result is what? The result ends up being that you're promoting everything but chiropractic. And here's what the result is, you guys, and I can show you this over and over and over again. The result is that you're making everybody rich but you. When it's all said and done, you're the one that's left out in the cold. Because you not only have your overhead, but you have their overhead, that you pay theirs and you pay yours, and you're promoting their deal, and they leave with their product, and they're not coming back for yours. So the truth of the matter is, you're kind of getting hurt out of the deal because we are promoting everything but chiropractic. Now you'd say, well, Keith, I think you're exaggerating. I'm really not. I'm not saying that I wouldn't exaggerate, but I'm saying here, I'm going to tell you what I did. Let me just show you a couple experiments and we'll kind of get into this. Let me tell you what I did. I didn't even have to do long. I'm going to show you, this is an average website. It isn't an integrity one, but an average one. You say, well, you had to look long and hard for this one. No, it was the second one. And the first one I went to, just Googling stuff, the first one I went to was much worse than this one he calls himself the running doctor. I thought that was too much. So then I went to the second one. This is the second one. This is an average website these days. Now, on this website, I know that you can't, it's hard to see it there, but I wanted it up there so that you can at least see, yep, this is all very real, and you can see by looking at it, it's a typical website. And on the front, there's nothing on the front that mentions chiropractic. Chiropractic isn't on the front. It's wellness, though. Wellness, that's the key. As long as you can say wellness, everything's okay. So here's the deal. Wellness is on the front, and here's the thing. I clicked on, and I don't know if this is the one on there. I clicked on the button, at the top, that says services. Well, since chiropractic isn't on the front, I'm thinking, well, let's find out. What services are provided? Does everybody know the services button when you click on a website? So you click on the services. What services do they provide in this clinic? I've got it right here. I'll just read it to you. Okay. Neuro-emotional technique, NET. You can't separate your mind from your body, no matter what. Negative emotions and stress will affect your physical health. As Dr. Winchester explains, emotions can get stuck in your body like a bug going through a screen. I don't know. Emotions are a bug now, don't we? Dr. Winchester uses methods such as muscle testing and body reflex points to locate and release unhealthy emotions lodged, in quotes, lodged in the body, just as tears help to release negative chemicals in the body and make us feel better emotionally. Neuro-emotional technique can do the same for our physical wellness. Next benefit. I'm not saying benefit, I'm sorry, service, is orthotics. Nearly everyone can benefit from orthotics, custom-made shoe inserts. Misaligned feet don't always cause sore feet. Rather, you may feel pain in your legs, backs, or hips instead. Feet are the foundation of the body, says Dr. Winchester. If your feet aren't right, neither are we. Dr. Winchester can assess your foot alignment and will create orthotics specifically for you. It's a simple method that can dramatically affect your overall comfort and quality of life. Next service. Nutrition. What you put in your body directly affects how you feel and operate. Dr. Winchester reveals your unique nutritional deficiencies and teaches you how to correct them through diet, diet and nutritional supplements. Next service. Eye lights. With a simple pair of glasses, people of all ages and abilities can increase energy levels, alleviate mood swings, Every husband immediately saying, what? And correct learning problems. A form of light therapy. Eye lights is an innovative way to help anyone increase athletic or academic performance. See, that was my problem growing up. My parents didn't provide me with all those eyeglasses things. And deal more effectively with stress or depression. Everyone has a non-dominant side of their brain. Through emitting light pulses, eye lights help to stimulate and strengthen the weaker half of the brain. Dr. Winchester can explain the details of eye lights, I'm sure, and how they can make a positive impact on your life. Next service. Allergy testing. When something bothers you, the easiest solution is to avoid it. However, it's difficult to avoid that something when you don't know what it is. Dr. Winchester can help you pinpoint and remedy the underlying cause of your annoying sniffles, headaches, or allergy-related pains. Next service. Ionic cleansing. Foot baths, detoxification. While an ionic detox foot bath looks and feels like any other soothing foot bath, its results include but exceed the simple bliss of relaxation. These foot baths have helped cure many foot conditions and other disorders. The detox foot bath removes toxins from the lymphatic system through the pores of the feet, the largest pores on the human body, by a group of electronically charged atoms. After an ionic foot bath, Dr. Winchester patients report comfort and ease in their feet and a more relaxed state of mind and increased energy. Now, help me out, everybody. I have just read to you the services provided by this wellness clinic. I'm praying to God that you notice something was left off. Does it bother you a bit? Now, don't say, why is he against that stuff? Shut up. I'm for chiropractic. Where is it? And it ought to bother you that it isn't on the services button. If you don't provide chiropractic, call yourself something else, would you? Call yourself, Well, I didn't stop there. I then clicked on the success stories, the testimonial button. Now, you know that when you click on the testimonial button, you're going to get lots of testimonials of chiropractic success stories, right? Instead of reading you their story, I'm just going to read to you the headlines of what each one is. It just makes it easier and quicker. Laura discusses stomach pain relief, net treatments, and nutrition. Pat discusses how EB, cellular cleanse therapy, cured stomach cramps and diarrhea. Marie discusses how Dr. Winchester relieved 20 years of severe stomach problems and fatigue, as well as car accident pain. Now, you guys, I'm all for curing diarrhea. I want you to know that. I don't even like it myself. And many times, in many homes across America, whenever somebody gets diarrhea, they say, stop, let's call a chiropractor. Think. Now, can chiropractic affect all these things and help? Yes, but that's not the primary message here.
Right.
The first message is supposed to be something that doesn't even show up. And here's the interesting thing about it. We'll all act with halos right in here, but I can't believe I did this last week for the first time. I had a number of people that immediately started getting on their phone to look at their website to make sure chiropractic was on it. It's an easy thing, you guys. Before you know it, we have been wooed in by cows to do everything but what? Chiropractic. Is there anything wrong with other things? No. But you guys, I'm thinking chiropractic ought to show up somewhere. Even if it's a stinking footnote. It ought to be and oh yeah, you could get an adjustment too. And I'm telling you, this is not done by people that are anti-chiropractic. That would be wrong in thinking that. These are done by all good people. These are done by people with strong chiropractic philosophy and so on. As a matter of fact, the next one, maybe Adam, you can go to the next one. This is by one of the well-known, strong chiropractic philosophy people. Great person, great doctor, great programs and stuff. But there's a problem, as far as I'm concerned, by how you are wooed into things like, where's chiropractic going? Here's one from the wellness practice. There again, as long as we say wellness, we're good, right? It's the code word. So now this is the innate lifestyle program, which at least innate, see, that makes us think it's connected chiropractically. And it has, the wellness program has 3 pillars to it. 3 pillars. And the 3 pillars are, and this is the name of it, eat well, move well, think well. Now, are those good things, everybody? Of course they are. So it's basically, how do you have wellness? Diet, exercise, attitude. Now, am I for all those things? Of course I am. But if you're really strong chiropractic philosophy, and if I were to check with, and Bob, I realize this is your strength, so you can correct me where I'm wrong. I'm thinking that if DD or BJ had a wellness program, I'm thinking chiropractic would have been in it. It's a guess, but I'm thinking that he thought chiropractic was wellness. But in fact, that's not the case, and you have to be told by him, on at least on the video on the very front of his website, chiropractic won't get it. Of course not. What will get it? Well, you got to have eat well, move well, think well. Obviously. And of course, then a big discussion on the thing on the front wasn't over the effectiveness of chiropractic, but it was over the effectiveness of whether or not it's omega-3 fatty acids or keel, which one is the most effective. And this was proving in the article that omega-3s were more effective than keel, of which, of course, I was pretty sure I knew the answer to the discussion, because what is it that he sells? Omega-3, sure. So who's going to win? Can you spot the cow? Then there's 3 pictures that go with it. So there's 3 words: eat well, move well, think well. And then there's 3 pictures that go with each one. One is a lady eating an apple. Another is a lady exercising. And another is a lady doing yoga on the grass. Now, in my mind, as I'm looking at it, I'm just telling you what I'm looking at when I'm wanting you guys to promote chiropractic. What picture is missing of the 3? Let's see, that's right. There is no adjustment picture. Where did the adjustment go? And why isn't the adjustment one of the pillars? Why isn't chiropractic wellness? Where is it? If you're so stinking strong philosophically, where is chiropractic? Which is, here's where I'm feeling on the thing. I'm feeling like, how come I'm the one telling you guys this? I'm thinking you should have stronger philosophy than me. And you ought to be saying, where's the adjustment? But you're not, and here's why. It's because you're continually told, and there's all these testimonials now from the program, and they're great. My family's been eating the innate diet since whenever. I'm feeling so much better since I've been on the innate diet and all this kind of stuff. Now, what do I think of this diet? I'm sure it's absolutely, positively fantastic. I don't have anything against a diet. I'm sure it is great. How about the supplements? Great. What do I think about omega-3s? For them. But I do kind of like what? The adjustment. You remember that funny thing you do with your hands. The innate lifestyle program is based on 25 years of research combined from genetics, nutrition, and exercise with the science of empowering personal change. It is the first program in history based on the science of determining the eating, moving, and thinking lifestyles. Now, you guys, here's the thing. It could easily be the best program. But I just want to tell you, just on the side, diet, exercise, and attitude isn't a new thing. It's been said maybe 3 times before this one. Maybe even 30 days before. Maybe even my lifetime. Now let's think for a minute, you guys. Think. Go to a store that sells magazines and try to find a magazine that doesn't have some diets on it. Go ahead. Try to find some. Try to turn on the TV and not see some ads for successful diets. Have you seen them? You have, haven't you? There's other people doing diets. Have you noticed it? Have you noticed that there's other stores selling omega-3s and stuff? Are there? Are there other places to get vitamins? Why am I asking you this? I want you to realize you have one unique spot in the marketplace. I can turn on the TV all day long and nobody else can advertise for adjustments. I can go to every bookstore and every magazine rack and I can find the biggest losers of everything in the world. But there's one thing I can't find. What is it? It's the adjustment. Now you guys, if you throw away your one unique thing to promote something that everybody else in the world promotes, business-wise, you're making a really stupid mistake. And why is it business-wise, if not health-wise? Why, if it's business-wise, a stupid mistake? Because nobody else can do what you do, but you are putting yourself in with some really big company when you do all the other things. And here is what you have to realize is going to happen. Why does this happen to you? Why are you told this then? Why is that the direction? You're told this because that's what they have to sell, or they don't make money. So you are inundated from every side with cows promoting every cause but chiropractic. Why are they not promoting chiropractic? Because they can't make any money off your hands or off your degree. They die if you choose beef. What is beef? Chiropractic. They die. Their history. Or they have to go back to practicing. They need you to choose chicken. So, the question we got to ask ourselves then, well, rats, if this is the case, where is the chiropractic voice? And by the way, I know what questions are on your mind, so let me tell you, I am going to answer them. One of the questions on your mind is integrity management a cow? The answer is yes. I have no problem telling you, yes, integrity management is a cow, and I will tell you exactly what kind of cow we are. No problemo. So I want you to understand that, yep, I do get it. And does that mean that that these things would be wrong to do? No, it is not that they are wrong to do. But it's right to put it in its right perspective, which we're going to talk about. Here's the thing, though. The way it so easily gets out of perspective is because there isn't a true chiropractic voice and leader. And there needs to be one. Somebody who actually has chiropractic in mind instead of products in mind. We've got to hear it. And I think that integrity has got to be the voice. Here's the thing. State associations can't say this. Why can they not say? You would think state associations could. But see, it's not their fault. Look around. When you go to the state association meeting, who's paying for the booths? Who's paying for the meeting rooms? When you look in the journals, who's buying the advertisements? It can't be a chiropractic something. It's got to be a vendor. So they can't put down these people. Management companies can't. Look at who they're partnered with. Now, I tell you this. Here's the thing that you got to realize. One reason why, and you need to understand that for everything I'm talking to you about, and I can go into this to a huge extent, but realize and understand this. You don't think that I've been offered these partnerships on a daily basis? You don't think I know what I'm talking about and what they are offered, and I don't know the temptation of it all? Man alive, all these things, I can go back to the times of even partnerships of some of these deals that no longer exist, that I said no to, and that I had clients get mad at me over, and in fact, they say, well, what do you think of this? This is going to be the wave of the this and that and the other. And I say, well, no, it's really not going to be the wave. And let me just tell you this about tangents. The reason why I know that they don't work is because I've taken a bunch of them. A bunch. We've done the weight loss stuff. Bunch. We've done vitamins. Bunch. We've done it. Been there, done that. 2 years later, guess what you're going to be back to? There's always going to be one thing. It's always going to be chiropractic. And I will tell you this. You show me, and I'll use an easy number because it's easy to work with. You show me a practice that's doing $100,000 a month, and then they choose to do all this other stuff. And they do all that stuff because that's what patients really want. And so then they do that. Check back a year or two later, they're doing $100,000 a month, but they're doing $50,000 in chiropractic. They lost a lot of their chiropractic. They went down, and they're still doing $100,000 because they're doing the other stuff. But here's the problem: they're doing the same amount of money, but they're doing it through other things. The problem is you've got to pay these other people. So your profit margin is less because you got your same overhead, but you've got to pay the hard costs of the stuff. You got to pay the hard costs of the foot pads, of the sandals, of the vitamins, of the pills. You got to pay the hard costs of the stuff, and then you still had your overhead. So you make less money. You have same money going through. Not a good business decision. Is everybody following me on this? So you need to really look at it. You don't need to decrease, and you shouldn't decrease chiropractic so that you can make other people rich. Not very politically correct, Rock. Nobody's going to be talking to me after this is over, but I'm telling you. You'll talk to me? Yeah. Thank you, Rock. I appreciate it. Remember that he said that, would you, after this? So, management companies, they can't look at you and say this because they don't partner. We don't partner. Here's why we don't partner. Understand the whole philosophy and what we do this so that you get it. Here's the way we do it. If I partnered with all these people, we have one job, and that's to grow your practice. That's what our job's supposed to be. I got to be able to tell you what will really grow and what really won't. So here's the thing that you got to understand. If it's the other things that would grow your practice instead of chiropractic, that's the first thing I want to tell you to do, because why not? I could do two things right off. Number one, there's no skin off my nose. And number two, I might as well partner with them and let's make some money, honey. But the truth is, I've got to stay true in my motive, which has got to be remain number one, and that's why I'm looking at it. So the ACA, they've partnered with these same people. So then Kathy Mills Chang, ACA, they partner with Future Health. Don't you think that might skew their recommendation to you now? Do you think? Now, this can, and by the way, walk into any college. I'm not picking on a college. Walk into any colleges and see what's on their walls. I've seen them a lot of times. If you went back 10 or 15 years, they would have never recommended what their walls are covered with now. It's a strange thing. Money does strange things, doesn't it? A cow. It leaves nobody then to speak up for what we need to speak up for. So let me just give you a little, I guess I can easily say you're never going to hear a seminar like this one anywhere else because nobody else can say it. And here's the deal. Here's true chiropractic philosophy. I hear you guys talk about philosophy a lot. You need to hear some true chiropractic philosophy. Here's true chiropractic philosophy. Don't you think we should turn to maybe the founders? I mean, they've done a pretty good job. They did a pretty good deal. I'd like to see you turn something into this. Took nothing and made it into this great profession. Let's look at the founders. B.J. Palmer. These are his words, everybody. I want you to see what you think of them. I will sell what? That's really good, you guys. This is him. This is true chiropractic. I will sell chiropractic. I will serve chiropractic and save chiropractic. I got to thinking, you know what? He's probably still right. So we just opened up a web address there, savechiropractic.com. I think he's right. I will what? Promote chiropractic. Within the law, without the law, in keeping with the law, or against the law. Don't you love that? I'm going to do it again. This is BJ now. This is BJ. I will sell chiropractic, serve chiropractic, and save chiropractic. I will promote chiropractic within the law, without the law, in keeping with the law, or against the law. Wow, this sounds like today, doesn't it? And why would he do this? I love this, everybody. Get it. In order to get sick people well and keep the well from getting sick. Chiropractic does that? I'm thinking it's shoe pads. No. He says chiropractic will do that. He's got to be wrong, you think? Well, we have a new oath. I want to see if you can say it with me. Here's our new oath. And for once, somebody's going to introduce some true chiropractic philosophy. Here it is. I will start selling what?
Chiropractic.
And by the way, what's also the key word? Selling. That's a dirty word for a lot of people. I will start selling chiropractic. I will start serving chiropractic. I will start promoting chiropractic. And I will save chiropractic, and I will do it in order to get sick people well and keep the well from getting sick. Can you take it or no? Mm-hmm. That's the oath. All right? If you believe it, I want everybody to say it. Let's say it together. I will start selling chiropractic. I will start serving chiropractic. I will start promoting chiropractic. I will save chiropractic. And I will do it in order to get sick people well and keep the well from getting sick. Is that good, everybody, or what? Here's the thing I'll tell you from a business perspective. This will work. I'm from Texas, so here's what we'd say in Texas. This dog will hunt. This will work. So what's the solution? Go back to the adjustment, everybody. Because that's what's best for the patient. That's what gets them well, and that's what keeps them well. And it's the only thing that makes you unique. Everybody else can do everything else that you can name. Nothing else works like the adjustment. So you understand that I can walk into almost any store and get a foot scan. You do understand that. And I can get a custom orthotic from them. And you can tell them, oh yeah, but it's not near as good. And I understand that. But just understand it's a big market. Now, there's also business reasons why you should do this. For an adjustment, you can get $45 for 3 minutes with no hard costs. Now, I'm just talking to you from a business perspective right now. That's pretty tough to beat. That's a good deal. Figure up what you're worth per hour when you think about this. And what your time is worth per hour. And then how much time you spend doing a bunch of other junk. You have bought the product with chiropractic with your $200,000 in student loans, and you already made a business decision, and that was chiropractic. So understand this. From a business perspective, if we remove the health care, which I don't want to, but if you did, if you just talk business, the reason why I'm recommending that you do chiropractic is from a business perspective, it's the smart thing to do. You want to double your impact in the community? You want to double your business? Chiropractic will do it. The other things will not. How do I know? 25 years and thousands of clinics doing every tangent you can name. You really don't think we have any experience with integrated clinics and with all the other orthotics and all the things you can throw in for years and years? I've never seen anybody, let's say Danielle, if you don't mind me again, I've never seen anybody go from 8,000 to 120,000 from a product. You just write it down and you show it to me. Bring it to me, man. I will take it. You bring it to me. You can't kid a kidder. I've been doing this. You show me the clinic that went from 8,000 to 120,000 and they did it with a diet. You show it to me. I'd love to see it. It isn't there. Danielle, what got you from 8,000 to 120,000?
Chiropractic.
Chiropractic did. Now I can show you that all day long, every day. How come I can show you so many more chiropractic? Even if you can show me one, I think the odds are still on my side. What do you think? So if I'm going to be your business advisor, what do you think I should recommend that you do? Chiropractic. And why can I recommend chiropractic? Because whether you try to do it through a product or you try to do it through chiropractic, I make the same either way because I'm not making it through the other stuff. My success is your success. Do you see the difference? Does it make sense to you? So this is why I've got to answer the question, because you've got a right to ask it. See, I can tell you this with certainty because you got to realize there is no lottery technique. Man, I saw one just the other day, and these things upset me. Well, chiropractic won't get it, but here's the technique, and this will cure autism. And we see autism cured in minutes. One adjustment in minutes, boom. Boy, I can't believe you guys. To me, I know that they're just trying to sell something, but that's pretty heartless. Because we've got coaches and we've got doctors with kids who have autism. And let me just tell you something right now. If somebody could cure autism with one swift adjustment in minutes, he wouldn't be having to run an ad to teach a technique. He would have people lined for 70 miles outside his office, spending night after night out and night outside in the cold so they could get that. That is an absolute stinking lie. Only to sell you a product. What a cow. Do you understand? I shouldn't get off on that because I don't like it. I mean, it's one thing trying to make a living. It's another thing leaving false impressions. Now, chiropractic can do some great things for autism. I do believe that. But let's promote chiropractic and then let the results do what it does and not leave false impressions to sell a product. There's no lottery technique. There's no lottery equipment. There's no lottery products. And there's no lottery government wellness classes either. They aren't there. It's all a bunch of smoke. If you say I'm lying, fine. Bring me the checks for $150,000 a year because you went around and taught wellness classes to companies. Just bring them to me. Bring me the government checks. You show them to me, I'll change all this. But guess what? I'm pretty safe, everybody. Because it hasn't been funded, hasn't been done. It's not the truth. So, how do you know I'm telling you the truth? Is integrity a cow? Yes. Let's say it right up front. Are we a cow? Sure we are. Do we make money? You better believe it, and proud of it. We make money. We make good money. How do we make money? We make money by growing your practice. We made the decision that we weren't going to make it through stuff. We were going to make it through making dreams happen. Every one of our coaches are called dream makers. Here's what we figure. If we can grow your clinic and your dream, you'll want others to grow their clinic and their dream. Our thought is that we can change the profession, that we can grow the profession. We think we can do it. We think we can make history. We think we can change the healthcare of America. We think we can do it. And we have a mission, and we're going for it, and we charge for it, but that's the mission. Therefore, you need to realize this. If it was a product that would take you there instead of chiropractic, I'm going to be the first one to tell you the product. In a heartbeat. Why wouldn't I? I've only got one mission. That's to grow your practice. That's why you joined, was to grow your practice. The whole purpose is to grow the practice. It's to grow the profession. It's to grow chiropractic. So if something else would do it, would I tell you? Sure I would. Why wouldn't I? I want you to grow. Why am I telling you chiropractic? Because frankly, it doesn't contradict our purpose and our mission. So yes, we're a cow. We're a cow that says we can grow your practice. And now all you have to do is look around and see if it's true or it isn't. I don't know the practices that have become $1 million practices through a product, but I can show you $1 million practices through integrity. I've got a long parade. I can show it to you. So yes, we're a cow, but we're a cow that works. Now, be able to just recognize the cow. What should you do? Well, we think to win, you should promote chiropractic. That's what we think. Does this mean that everything but the adjustment is wrong? Of course not. So how do you do it right? This is what I want to illustrate. Because you say, well, we have these programs, Keith. Great. How do you see it? This is the way you do it. There's nothing wrong with those programs. Here's how you do it. Think of it like a car dealership. People come in wanting a car and looking for a car, right? When you go to a car dealership, when you drive up in a car dealership, what do you see? Cars. When you walk onto the showroom floor, what do you see? It's okay, you guys. Right? What do you see when you walk in? And then somebody comes up to you and they say, would you like to see some of our... And they offer to show you their... And they even allow you to test drive their cars. Full of cars everywhere. I would almost say that their purpose of being in business is to sell cars. That's what I'm thinking. It's a guess, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Now, here's the next question. Do they have a parts department? Do they have a service department? Do they have accessories?
Yes.
Do they sell other things?
Yes.
But when you walk in, what do you see? When you're offered help, what are you offered? Cars. I'm thinking cars. Cars. Do they have parts?
Yes.
But when you walk in, do they say, would you like to see some of our floor mats today? We've got some really neat steering wheel covers. You know why they don't greet you with steering wheel covers and floor mats? Because that's not their primary purpose in business. They sell them, and they make money from them, but their primary purpose in business is what? Cars. Now, Chiropractic is your car. Do you have a parts department? Sure. Do you have accessories? Of course. But when you advertise, what should you advertise?
Chiropractic.
And by the way, when a car dealership advertises on TV, what do they advertise?
Cars.
Their cars. You don't ever see a video commercial where it's showing you, and look at these hubcaps. Do you ever?
No.
Never. It's always showing you cars on the road. Now you may think this sounds silly, but I can show you all kinds of chiropractic advertisements that doesn't advertise chiropractic. It's everywhere. The word totally removed. Would a car dealership ever remove the car?
Never.
No.
Never. When you advertise, promote chiropractic. When they come in, what should you show them?
Chiropractic.
The products come after. You buy the car, and then they say, hey, we have some wonderful such and such. So, does everybody get how it works? Of course we have plenty of things. Of course we're for them. But what's the car? Chiropractic, because that's what will grow your business, if nothing else. Number 6, we must stop being illegal immigrants of healthcare. Okay, what do we mean by this, everybody? If we want to be number 1, we got to look like it, act like it, talk like it. We've got to be it. It's always embarrassing to me sometimes how people don't pay attention to the appearance of everything. What would you choose if you didn't know chiropractic? Are you sure that you would choose chiropractic as number 1 if you didn't know chiropractic? Let's just take as an example here. I took a picture. Now, I told you I'm from Sarasota. Sarasota is a very high-class town as far as I'm concerned, a very high-income town. Here's a picture of a chiropractic clinic in Sarasota. Take a look at it. Don't you wish they'd changed their name? Look at it. Pretty nice grass, huh? Can you see those are broken windows even there? Even some windows are broken. Let's not stop there. Well, here's their parking lot, pretty nice. Look, they have signs, but it's pieces of paper that they've taped up on the window. Phew, mercy. Here's the other side of it. That looks pretty good. I guess I'd ask you, you think you'd be inspired to be a chiropractor if this was...
No.
Yeah. And are you sure? See, and this makes it kind of hard on integrity. Let me just say this. No matter what marketing we give them, is it going to work? I mean, if a person just drives up, it's like, I don't think so. What about your image? Hey, here's one that was just last week. Just last week there in Texas. One of our clients has a doctor who just opened in their town, and they call themselves The Body Shop. The Body Shop. Here's how they do it. The doctor dresses in mechanic uniform. I'm serious. Dresses in a mechanic's garage uniform, and they have the white name tag thing with the doctor's name and the white name tag. And they even have their door hooked up so that when people open it, it sounds like when you go into a garage and you drive over that hose. You know, ding, ding, you know what I'm talking about? He's got that sound when they open the door so that you feel like you're in a garage. Pretty cool, huh? Hey, and don't worry about all that other goofball stuff like exam stuff like that. It's just $20 a visit. $20 a visit, you know. Making you feel pretty good, huh? Tangents, I'm telling you. Tangents. Now that's one image. And think about this if you're deciding whether it's right or wrong. Somebody thinking, I wonder if that works. No, let me help you with it. What if everybody did this? What if every chiropractor became The Body Shop and they all dressed like auto mechanics? What would it do to the image, everybody? Just think about it. What if everybody, if it's right, everybody should be able to do it, right? What would happen if everybody did it? Let's take the opposite to this. If you all saw the memorial service last week in Arizona, in Tucson, the doctors who attended to the victims of that shooting, the doctors were all at, from that hospital, were all at that memorial service. Did you see what they were wearing? They were wearing lab coats. Now, isn't it interesting that they go to a funeral service? There was night. I mean, it's not like they just walked out of a surgery. And they're wearing lab coats. Do you think that they're thinking about their image? Because they should. And we should too, if we want to be number one. Which is why, and let me just say, too, how much I appreciate it. But if you look around in this room, look at the professionalism of this group. It is absolutely awesome. That is right. Your appearance and dress, you guys represent the profession well. And I realize that we have a dress code, and sometimes you may get kind of hacked off at it. But let me just tell you this right now. I would be proud for anybody in the Chicago area to walk by and see this group, and then they find out that this is a group of chiropractors.
Right. Yeah.
Would I be proud? I would be proud. Absolutely would. Have you ever been to it where you wouldn't be proud? I've seen a lot dressed worse than an auto mechanic. Isn't that right? And a lot of times they dress like they don't realize they're not students anymore. We can't look like illegal immigrants. Nobody's ever offended that you look too nice, but some are offended when you look too, quote, cool. You represent number one, you must watch your language, your demeanor, your professional dress. It's worth having a code. The seventh one is important. We must stop eating our young. One of the things that we've learned in integrity, but it isn't normal. You know, when you open 200 practices a year, here's what you find out. When you open 200 a year, you find out that there's a whole lot of people that want to see these new chiropractors go down, because they feel like the only way they succeed is for everybody else to fail. If everybody else would go out of business, it means there's only one chiropractor in town, now we can win. The truth of the matter is, not a good way to go. The truth is, the more success everybody has, the more successful chiropractic will be. Their success is your success. You need to help everybody do it. Adam, do we have that video where we could see Lance? Here's a guy who was just at our last top flight in Vegas that was in December. Lance has only been in practice for less than 2 years. He's already at our top flight, Lance Doyle. He practices in a little town called Yukon, Oklahoma. A little kind of a suburb of Oklahoma City area. And he was a part of he came in as a Lonacoat student. Do we have it there? Adam, how are we doing? You all get very important. And what caused you to join?
Tony Green was doing pretty well. And
yeah, he said he's been in practice 3 years with us.
He hired one of my good classmates that I graduated with, and I went over and got adjusted by her, and she said, you got to figure out what he's doing and do it. So
now Tony is a top fighter with us, and then Lance became a Lona coach of Tony. So Tony made a difference in Lance's life
very much so.
By caring enough. They're in the same. This is a Yukon, Oklahoma guy. Tony is a War Acres, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, Oklahoma City. He's probably about 15 miles from me.
15 miles from you guys. And at the time that how long have you been in practice there, Lance?
January 5th will be 2 years for us.
January 5th will be 2 years. And then how much were you guys? Okay, so you started out on your own. You knew you could. And what were you doing when you joined? How much were you doing?
We were doing right between $8,000 and $13,000 a month when we joined with Integrity. And this last month we did $53,000.
It's got to feel like a whole different world, doesn't it?
It's lovely.
You got to like it. It's a good thing. He's now a better husband than he was, isn't he? He's a better. He picks up in values. He goes. It's almost hard to conceive, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, and this is another testimonial. My wife, she's a pharmacist. Don't hate her. But no, she was a pharmacist. This last month we were able to let her quit her job, which she was making.
You got to get used to celebrating now.
And she was making $110,000 a year, and we were able to walk away from that. So.
Good grief, that is a wow. I mean, that is great. And all this is within, we're talking about less than a year still.
Yeah.
This was just in February or something, I want to say, that you joined?
Yeah.
And so who would have thought, you guys, last February, who would have thought that you'd be in Vegas with this group doing 50-some-odd thousand a month?
Pamela
will? That's about right. Isn't that awesome? Now what you do is you hang with these other people, and you get, just like the reason why we're talking to different ones is you hang with these people, and you ask them what they're doing. You start, you're going to wake up and you're not going to know where your money went unless you get on the financial plans and you do the stuff. So we have a lot to learn, because this time next year we're going to be talking about 100 and some odd thousand a month instead of 50 some odd thousand a month, and then you're going to, I'm telling you, cows are going to come after you.
they have.
Yeah, they already have. They really do. I'm telling you, it's a cow country, isn't it? I mean, that's what it is. And so, and by the way, while we're talking about illustrations, let me finish with that. But the bottom line is, I just have one other thing to say to you besides doing that. Tony did this for you. Changed your life. You owe it to somebody else. Pay it forward.
Sure.
Change some people's lives. Deal?
Deal.
Deal. Thanks, Ed. Thank you. That's awesome. And let me say that then he had a couple of the doctors last week in Dallas for the Loan Coach program. We had, here's the thing. Tony, who's only been in practice for 4 years and is already a $1 million practice, but he didn't keep it to himself. He's got somebody practicing down the road, and he loans them a coach so that they can go from. And those people's lives are, I wish you could meet him, Leslie. Those people's lives are changed. Totally different. What they're doing now and what they were, only because somebody took the time to help them instead of hope that they die. You guys, we have to be committed to building up the entire profession, because it is a great profession. I was talking to Tanya during the break. Tanya's been in practice 4 years, right, Tanya? Just starting your fifth. So you've been in practice 4 years, and you're already a $1 million practice. And she's a $1 million practice in Michigan, where to her benefit, she would say, they can just do the adjustment. And that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. The truth of the matter is, these people, and Tony did it that way, and certainly then Lance, then he comes up in a matter of months. Chiropractic works, you guys. Chiropractic's a good thing. Chiropractic will get you where you want to go. Chiropractic is a winner. And you benefit by other people's success. I want you to think about, and I want you to think about who you can help. Let's be a leader for the profession. Let's sell chiropractic, promote chiropractic, defend chiropractic, save chiropractic. And we do that through the profession, making all of them better. Who do you know that could use some help? Who do you know that could use some encouragement? Pay it forward. Loan them a coach. Let's get the whole profession doing it. Wouldn't it be great if 80% of the profession were integrity doctors? Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Got to make it happen. Tell you what, let's do. When we come back at 1:30, doctors will all be meeting together on purpose thinking. And staff, you'll be doing the history of chiropractic. You'll be doing that revolutionary culture. We'll be doing it. All right, let's take a break.